My name is Laura Milligan, and you can find me at lauramilligan.com. Thank you for joining me today. This is my weekly Facebook Live. I go live pretty much every Monday at 1 p.m. in the afternoon just to share some fun craftiness with you. So thank you for joining me. Let me just check here and make sure that I am set up properly. If you're there, say hello. Let me know where you're from. Love to see where my viewers are coming from. And if you're watching on replay, leave a comment and just say replay. I'm grateful for all of you that watch my Facebook Lives. So I'm going to switch my camera down. Happy Monday, Colleen. How are you? Colleen's usually one of the first people on, so thank you, Colleen. I appreciate your faithfulness. That's awesome. It is a Monday, and I hope you all had a great weekend. We kind of laid low this weekend, got caught up on some things, which was really nice. And so I am going to go ahead and switch my view here. Hi, Judy from Wisconsin. I bet do you have a lot of snow, Judy? I'm just curious. Hi, Myra. Sun in Kentucky. Aw. Hi, Cindy. Okay, great. People are signing in now, so that's great. So I am going to start today by giving away the 2 cards that I made last Monday. And this one is, this was just a simple birthday card. And I always want to call this Heart and Home, but I don't think that's the right name of this bundle. But this is it has tons of new product in it from our mini catalog. And this card is going to Marsha Miller. So Marsha, I have your address, and that will be going out in the mail to you. Love the colors of that one. That's Fresh Freesia and Misty Moonlight. And then this cute little otter card is going to Sandra Halterman. So Sandra, I do not have your address. If you want to email me or message me with your address, I will get this card out to you. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Judy says it snowed a few days ago, starting to melt now. We have not had any snow this year to say, unfortunately, but okay, I want to really quickly, before I get started today, I want to share my class to go that I'm offering. Registration ends Friday, January 14th. It's the New Horizons bundle of products. It's a card class to go. It includes a lot of product, 6 card kits, so you'll have 6 different ideas, a PDF. The PDFs include all the measurements, a photo of each project, and then a video tutorial walking you through each project. And I do these every month with my Canadian demonstrator friend, Sherry Roth. So let me just show you. I just put these in a little basket. So this is the product you will get for $35 class fee. You'll get this double pack of ribbon. These really cool, these are called pebble enamel shapes. They're really, really cool. And then I think the star of the show is this beautiful, it's called, I believe, Horizons. Let me check the name of it. New Horizons designer paper, but look how pretty. I know I showed you this last week when I went live too, but the paper is, I love this one. That's one of my favorites. It's like a little meadow, and you can actually take little bits of this or even use the whole sheet depending on for scrapbooking or that sort of thing, depending on what you're doing. But look how pretty. And some of these you can even turn upside down and get a totally different look. This reminds me of like the steam coming off of the water. Okay, so that's the paper that you would get. And then there are 6 projects. I'm just going to flip through those. Really, really cute. Those are some of the projects. You do need the On the Horizon bundle to complete these cards. That is an add-on. If you'd like information on this class, I will be posting a link when I'm done so that you can click on it for registration information, or if you want to register. So I would encourage you to do that because this is a beautiful, beautiful class, if I do say so myself. Okay. Oh, and the other thing, so this card that I made last week, that one features the Awesome Otter Stamp Set. It is one of the free celebration rewards. And let me just bring that in here. They're super cute. They just make you smile. I think they're perfect for anybody of any age. They just bring a smile to my face. And I got a couple of swap cards. I do swaps with other demonstrators, which is a great way to get different ideas. And so this is one that I got. I thought this was adorable. This is from Lori Heiling. Super cute. This is the new hybrid embossing folder that has that heart and the embossing all around it. Thought that was super cute. And then the other thing I used on this card was this paper, which is Sunshine and Rainbows. This is also a free celebration $50 reward. So if you purchase $50 in product, you can, this is one of the things you could get for free, as is the Awesome Otter set. But I thought this was very clever. This is created by my friend Laura Bartow, and I think it's a great way to show how you can use just little scraps of paper, just little pieces. These are probably 1 inch by 3, and just kind of layer those on the back and add a tag, and you've got a quick, easy birthday card. I thought that was super cute. Just wanted to share those with you. And then I also received in the mail a card from Kate Speckman. She is new to Stampin' Up. She is our area's Demonstrator Development Manager. We call him DDM for short. But she sent this card to me, which I thought was beautiful, and I wanted to share it with you. And so I wasn't sure what this stamp set was that she used, so I kind of searched through the catalog, and I was surprised to find that it is from, it's called Season's Blessings. And, you know, I think truly I was thinking of this more as like a fall and Christmas stamp set, because there's flowers that look like poinsettias, and then there's the fall leaves and that sort of thing. But it's a great example of how you can just switch up the colors of something and make a super cute card. Really like that. And then the words, you're absolutely amazing, came from, let's see, I thought I found it. Hold on. Here it is. The Color and Contour bundle, or Color and Contour stamp set. You're absolutely amazing. What a great thing to tell somebody. I know this made my day, so Kate, thank you. I'm sure she's not watching, but if she is, thank you, Kate. I appreciated your card, and I wanted to share it with all of you. All right, so today we are going to make some Valentine cards, and I'm going to pull my catalog in for a second. Love Valentines. I love hearts, and you know, we talk about Valentine's Day, and it's a great time to tell people that you love them, but I think you should tell people you love them year-round. I think that's really important. So this is the suite that I'm going to be using today. It's called Sweet Talk, and I always like to point this out. If you like these products, the best way to order them is by ordering the whole collection, and this is on page 8 of the mini catalog. You write down one number, 157629, and you get everything on this page for $86.25. So there is the bundle, the stamp set, and the dies. There's a really cute new embossing folder, gingham embossing folder. Sweet little boxes. Those are little treats. I'm going to actually use those today. The iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. I have been using these like crazy. I've been putting them on everything, and I'm actually even using them today as well. The Real Red faux linen ribbon, and then of course the designer paper. So let me show you some of the parts and pieces to this. So this is the stamp set, and this is really cute. This is, you know, it's called Sweet Conversations. It's like conversation hearts. I think that's where the idea for this perhaps started. And then there are, of course, dies, and these are called Sweethearts. This is you can buy this as a bundle and save 10%, so that's always the best way to do that. But let me just show you some of these dies. So this is my favorite one. I'm going to be using it today. It makes a teeny tiny envelope, and let me just show you. This is one I just wanted to try it and see what it looked like, but look how teeny and cute that is. And this little heart was from one of the dies. I actually adhered mine shut, but I thought it would be super cute to do this and just put a teeny tiny little card in there, and then someone could, you know, the recipient could pull it out. You could add it, you could actually put it on a card front or anything like that. But that's my favorite die. There's also a really cute tag shape, which I'm going to use today. Lots of hearts. There's a couple banners, a big one and a small one. Some of the hearts come in a set of 2, and there's a whole strip of hearts going horizontal and vertical. Love all of those. And so I wanted to show you too the designer paper. It is called Sweet Talk, I believe. Let me just make sure. Yeah, Sweet Talk. So look how cute. I love the colors of this. And this particular paper coordinates with some of the dies. So let me just show you here. So there's a couple different shapes of hearts on this paper. There are some hearts that are like wider. Here's one that's a little bit tall and thin. And then here is this bigger size. So, and this is 12 by 12 paper. I have just cut it 6 by 6 because it's easier for me to show you, but this is 12 by 12 paper. So you're going to get a ton of these. You get 2 sheets of each pattern. So you will have a lot of hearts that you can cut out. And then you can also stamp. Of course, the dies coordinate with the stamps in the stamp set as well, but I love that. I thought that was really clever. So I'm going to put these back on here. Let me just show you the other. Let me show you the back of this one. Do you remember conversation hearts? I'm sure they still make those, but that used to be a big thing when my girls were in school. Those were always fun. Look how pretty. And I'm guessing that some of these, you could probably cut some of those out with the die as well. And then that one. I'll show you the back of those, the stripe and the purple. So that is Sweet Talk designer paper. I'm going to set that aside. Okay. So I saw this morning, I wasn't sure what I was going to do today, and I saw that Stampin' Up! Had shared a Valentine box, and it was using these products, and so what I decided I would do is take their idea and just turn it into a card. So let me get all my parts and pieces out. I've already done some of the die cutting just to save a little bit of time. So let me bring my mat in. I like this because it's just sort of clean and simple. Let me flip that over. Okay, so this is a photopolymer stamp set, and I didn't do a lot of stamping on this card because I kind of just let the paper do the work and the die cuts. So I wanted to show you this because this is a new way that Stampin' Up! Has been packaging their stamps. This is a photopolymer stamp set, and it comes on a heavy plastic sheet, but what you can do once you use them, I sort of do it as I go, but you can take your stamp off and just put it right there, right on the stamp set case, and they won't stick. You'll pull them right off, put them on your block when you're ready to stamp. And I love this idea actually because you can always make sure that when you're done stamping, you have all your stamps accounted for. Sometimes I misplace them. They fall or get set aside, pushed aside or whatever. But I love how they have these pictures of the stamps right inside the case. So I'm going to use this Happy Valentine's Day. Debbie says, I love that paper. I do too. I do too. Okay, so I'm just going to take this long, narrow Happy Valentine's Day. I'm going to do my stamping first. And this piece is just a little scrap. I always have this size scrap around because when I'm cutting paper, this is always like the end. If I'm cutting it like 4 by 5 1/4, which is a size I use a lot for like the inside panels of my card. So I end up with lots of strips like this, and so I save those for words like this. All right, so I'm going to put my ink, I'm going to put my ink away before I get it on myself. Okay. Oh, I have a red thumb. That's okay. Hopefully it won't get on my paper, on my project. All right, so I'm going to just snip close to these words and just to trim it up a little bit. I want it to be just close. Okay, and then I'm just going to snip this apart. Happy Valentine's Day. We'll set that aside for a minute. Okay, set that aside. Okay, so to put this card together, I'm starting with my thick white card base. I'll take my bone folder, twist fold, and then I've cut a piece of the designer paper, and I believe it was 4 1/4 by 5, and I just wanted to leave a little strip of white showing at the top and the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and get my glue and attach this. I love Valentine's Day. I love sending cards to people to tell them that you love them. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to take my white baker's twine, and this is coming from the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. You get 5 bolts of different shades of Baker's Twine, and that's a great little packet to have. All right, then I'm going to take this twine. I'm going to wrap it around 2 times, and I'm just going right on the inside of the card. It's going to show on the inside, but I like that. I think that's fine. Okay, and then I'll just snip this. And what I'm going to do is, because this is easier for me to do, I don't know, this may be a nice tip for you as well. I'm going to just go ahead and pull this, and before I do anything else, I'm just going to tie a knot in this. And that way, my twine is tight on my card. I want it to be fairly tight. I don't want it to be loose at all. So I do that first. And then I've already taken the dies, and I have cut with basic white this little tag shape. And I love when we have these tag dies that cut out the hole as well, so that you don't have to punch a hole. It's already done for you. And then I made this strip with this, so that cuts out the outline of those. And then of course you end up with all these extra little red hearts, which I'm going to use some of on my project. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and thread my tag through here, and then also this sweet little heart like that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and knot it and tie a bow. Like I said, I had seen this, Stampin' Up! Had shared a card. You know what, I'm going to move this up. I'm going to see if I can push my twine up a little bit. There we go, just a titch. Stampin' Up! Had shared a box, and I just thought it would make a really cute card, so I copied their idea and just tweaked it a little bit. Okay, so there's my hearts, like that. I'll make this a little bit smaller. All right, so then what I'm going to do is take my Happy Valentine's Day, my words, and I'm just going to bring in my mini dimensionals. And hopefully these are like perfect size for these little teeny pieces of little strips of paper. So there's that, and then I need my Valentines. This actually goes together pretty quickly. And you can make it straight or crooked. I think my sample, I made it straight, but I'm gonna curve it a little bit. And then the day. This word stamp too is really easy to cut apart. They left enough space in between. Okay, now I'll put that right there like that. Super cute. And then I have a little strip of designer paper. It's actually the back side of this paper that I'm using on the front, and I'm just going to flag the end. I start in the middle, and then I just go from corner up to the center and corner to the center, just like that. And after I did this in my sample, I actually looked at these dies and realized that there is a die that would have done that for me, and I just missed it the first time. So if you don't like to do these flags, you can use the die and it'll turn out perfect every time. Mine are not perfect, but I thought it was okay. So then what I did, I want to attach this to the back of my tag. And so what I did for this was I just put a little bit of glue on this, on the top of this flag strip. And I just laid that where I wanted it to be. I wanted it to sort of go off at the side. And then I positioned my tag right over it so that that would hold it in place. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I need to trim these ribbons a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Like that. All right. Okay. So there you have that. And I did not secure the tag. I let it sort of float around. Sometimes I like to secure them, but I thought that was pretty good. And then to finish the card, I am going to bring in one of my favorite embellishments, which are the iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. You can see how much I've used these already. This is probably my second sheet too. But I'm going to just add a little bit of bling to this. And there are a couple different sizes of these. And then I'll put a couple over here. Okay, now I feel like this is maybe moving around a little bit too much. It's sort of bothering me. So what I'm going to do is just take a dimensional and I'll put it on the back here like that. And then I can secure it just the way I want it. Okay, and that looks pretty good to me. And I hope you can see the sparkle of those iridescent pearls. I think those are super, super cool. And they sort of pick up the color of whatever paper they're on. I mean, on this paper, they do look a little bit pink. So, all right, so that is my first card. I'm going to set that aside. And of course, you all know how I do this. Oh, you know what? I forgot one thing. I forgot this little space right here because when I had cut this strip, I got all these other little hearts. And so I just thought I should put a dab of glue right there and just put a little heart there. I just thought that kind of filled in that space. Whoop. There we go, like that. So there's my first card. So anyway, if you leave a comment or if you share this post, if you have crafty friends that you think might be interested, I would appreciate you sharing, and I will draw the names of everyone that have commented. Will get their name in a drawing to win these projects that I'm making today. All right, so that is my first card. And then I thought it would be fun to make a little box. So this is the box we're going to make. And these boxes are also part of this suite, I think. Yes, they come in this suite. And these are called Sweet Little Boxes. They are very sweet and little. So I guess that's where they came out with the name. Cindy says, after you move all the stamps over to the acrylic sheets with the pictures, could you use the unused acrylic for shaker cards? You absolutely could. Yes, absolutely. Great idea, Cindy. So what she's saying, so when we make shaker cards, we use window sheets, and that is exactly, it's like an acetate sheet. We call them window sheets, but this is what you would use. So yes, that's a great use for that sheet. Thanks, Cindy. All right, so I'm going to open up this package of sweet little boxes. You get 10. And they make this so easy for us to put together because I've already got the 3M tape on there. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold on all the score lines. Isn't it cute? It's just a really good size. And I realized at the suggestion of Sandra, who's here helping me today, that this will hold a gift card. So if you, any time of year that you're going to give someone a gift, whoops, I guess I didn't score that part. This is a cute little way to present it in this little box. Okay, so I'm just going to put this together, and then I'm going to pull these off, and it's going to fit just like that. Okay, so I'm going to sort of hold this in place, pull these off. Hopefully I'm going to pull them off. Let's see here. You know what? I'll try down here. Here we go. There we go. I love that they include this adhesive and we don't have to add anything. It just make it super, super easy for us. Okay, so I'm going to hold these little flaps are going to go to the inside like that. And then I'm just going to pull this up and position it in place. And I'll just adhere one, whoops, one at a time. There we go. Whoops, I didn't get that quite right. Of course, the sample that I made when no one was watching went together perfectly. You know what? I'm just going to go with it. I can fix it later, but for now, it is what it is, right? I'm just going to go with it. It'll be, I think it's still going to be super cute. All right, so there's our box. And I took a piece of the striped paper from the Sweet Talk DSP. It's actually really cute on this side as well. So this is where the box is going to open. Okay, I know this is going to bug some of you. This is going to bug me too. So I may try it. Let me see if I can fix this. I may be making it worse. There we go. Don't try this at home, right? Hopefully when you do it, it's going to line up better. Oh, you can look at my sample. Look how perfectly it's lined up. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Okay, at least it's not going to be totally cattywampus. But this is how it's going to open. So I'm going to put this part at the top. And what I want to do is just wrap this. This is like a belly band. So they don't actually even need to take it off. When they get this box, they'll just be able to open it from the top and it'll still look really cute. So let's see, this is going to go this way. I'm just going to wrap this around. And let's see here. Just going to overlap it a little bit in the back. And I just take my fingers to create a score line so that it fits tightly around the box. Okay, and then I have a little bit excess, so I'll just take my paper snips and cut that off. Okay. And then I'm just going to line this up, and I'll just adhere this with my Tombow glue, my favorite adhesive. You're right, Colleen, it's easy peasy box assembly, except when you're doing it live on Facebook, right? Okay, so there's the base of our box. And then what I did was I took some more of the white baker's twine and I wrapped it around twice. And I'll just cut that off. And I'm just going to tie a bow. And if you wanted to, you could knot this as well, but I'm going to see if I can do this without knotting it. Okay, there's that. And I'm going to leave that just as it is for now. I'll probably trim it up a little bit later. Oh, I might as well just do it now. Okay. All right, so there's that part. Then the focal point is this adorable teeny little envelope die. And so I have my mini embossing machine, the little cute one. It's like as big as my hand, as you can see. So I just wanted to show you because I didn't know if everyone knew how to use a die cutting machine. I know there's some new viewers here, and Wendy, these boxes are in the mini catalog, and they're actually found on, they're part of this suite, the Sweet Talk suite. So you can get, let me just snip this a little bit. You can order the suite and get the boxes included. Okay, so I'm going to just put this through here. And what I like to do is lead with my top plate. It makes it a little bit easier to go through. And I'm just going to crank this through. Love this little, I call it the baby, the little baby embossing machine. All right, and then you can see it pops right out, and this has already been scored. So it makes it really easy to create these little envelopes. Stampin' Up! Is always thinking, right? They are really good at what they do. Okay, so then what I did was I wanted to create a little envelope, and I actually left the top flap open. So I'm just going to adhere a little bit right here, the bottom flap to the side flap. So I'll just put a little bit down here, just a dab, and then a dab there. And that's going to hold those parts together. Just need to hold it for 1 second while that sets. Yeah, it's great. I think this is a really good size box. I think it would also hold like those Ghirardelli chocolate squares that everybody likes. And I know there's always plenty of Valentine candy around, so I'm sure you'll find lots of cute things to put in a box like this. Okay, so then I positioned this here, and I did another Happy Valentine's Day stamp, and I cut it apart, kind of like played off that original idea. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to cut it apart. Cut it close to where I stamped. There are other cute words. These would have been fun, and happy to have you in my life. That would be good for the inside of that Valentine's Day card. Hug me, BFF, all of those. Text me, that's appropriate for this day and age, right? We all text each other. I like this set too because it's not like overly gushy or mushy. I think, you know, it's nice to send a man a Valentine card. I'm sure I'll make one for my husband, but he doesn't really care. I'm sure he'll appreciate it, but sometimes it's more fun to send them to your girlfriends. I think they may enjoy them more. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to just hold this in place here. I'm just gluing it flat. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my words. And then we're just going to layer up these hearts. So there we go again. Happy Valentine's Day. I want to stick these on here so that I don't lose them. That's true, Judy. They would enjoy it as long as it had chocolate in it. Okay, so there we have our little Happy Valentine's Day. And then what I did was I pulled out that designer paper. It's right on the bottom. And I actually cut these hearts with my dies right from the designer paper. And I sort of picked them based on the colors. I pulled different colors from the paper, the striped paper that I was using. It all coordinates. So then what I did was I just sort of positioned these, like all these great wishes are coming out of this envelope flap. I just sort of put them in place first. I like the "You Are Cute" one. There. And I'm just going to sort of position them so that you can see as much of them as possible. And then here's a pink one that says "Hug Me." All right. So what I did then, I'm not sure if this is the best way to do this, but what I did was I picked this up and held them together, and now see some of them are already falling apart, but I just took a couple strips of designer paper, and they're all falling apart. I want to pop these up, so I'm just going to start with these. And I can move these around too. It looks like I'm going to have to. And I'll start by just sliding these in place like that. And this one's going to go under here. It probably would be better. This worked so great when I was just making up my sample, but that's okay. I'm going to stick this one under here like that. And then to finish it off, I'll just slide this one under here, and I am going to put that under, or I'm going to attach that with a dimensional. So we'll go ahead, pick up a dimensional, and I'll just slide that into place. And I think that looks pretty cute. Just like that, it's like a big overflow of love going to somebody. And so of course, you know, I'm going to use the iridescent rhinestones again, and I will just go ahead and position those. I'm going to put one on each of these the conversation hearts. That. Oops, there we go. Needs to go in there. And then this one I'll just put right there. So you have lots of bling. You can put your chocolate in it. You could put a gift card, whatever you want. But there is the one, and here is my original sample. I actually like this one better because I think it filled up the front of the box better. I spread them out more. All right, so those are my projects for today. If you see anything that you're interested in, you can visit my blog, lauramilligan.com, and there's a sidebar that says shop. You can also find that on the header of the blog. There's a button you can click to shop. That way you know for sure you're shopping with me, and I would, of course, would appreciate that. Let me switch my phone back up here. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. Charlie actually is sleeping right behind me today. He hasn't done that for a while, and I was hoping you were going to be able to get a glimpse of him because everybody loves Charlie, but he is not. He is directly behind me, so I don't think you're going to be able to see him. But thank you so much for joining me today, and I will be back next Monday. If you have any questions, let me know, and I look forward to seeing you again. I love to read your comments, and again, thanks for joining me. Hope you all have a great day, and as always, I hope you have time to be creative today. Take care, everyone.